What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another True Game Data video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Bipod. I get asked about this all the time. It's not currently on the website, but after I get this video up, I will be putting all the stats on the website that I found while testing for this video, so stay tuned for that. So the Bipod's a unique attachment in that it reduces recoil, and it says it reduces the crouch slash prone recoil control, so specifically only when you're crouched or when you're prone. And it has no cons. So that's something unique about it. Is the other attachments that reduce recoil, like the Merc foregrip, Commando foregrip, those kind of things, they all have cons. So they all hurt you in some way when you put them on the gun, whether it's ADS or movement speed or aimed walking movement speed, something like that. There's always a negative to the other attachments, but the Bipod's like one of the few attachments that has no negatives at all. So that makes it kind of unique. So I'm going to show you some how I tested today and explain my methodology and show you the numbers. So we'll get into it. Before jumping into Bipods, though, I just want to remind everybody that I stream pretty much daily over at twitch.tv/unforgivenlive. I'm going to be changing that to True Game Data soon, but not currently. But it's just a great way to connect with the community. I've made some really cool streamer friends over there, and we've got an awesome little community going. So if you have questions for me or you just want to hang out, stop by sometime, because it's honestly, we have a lot of fun over there. So yeah, I just wanted to remind people about that. If you guys like my unbiased approach to data and what I'm doing with True Game Data to help the community, please subscribe or share my content or write a comment, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you don't like it. All of this really helps me with the YouTube algorithm and helps me grow and helps me be able to continue doing this in the future. So keep that in mind, and I do appreciate all the support. Okay, so how I tested bipods, I found two different locations. One where I could go prone, so this is where I went prone, and I made sure I was staring at or looking at the same spot, same distance from the target, and then I would do recoil patterns here. And then another area where I did my crouched recoil patterns was over here on this truck. So I would line up with this door, so I was the same distance, and then strafe to the side. And I measured the vertical recoil reduction of being crouched or prone with the bipod, and I did that with about 5 different ARs and 5 different LMGs. So I made sure that it works the same across all weapons, and it appears that it does. So that's very nice. Makes it easy for me. Means I don't have to test every weapon, even though I actually got pretty close to testing every weapon while I was gathering the data to make sure that it was the same. So yeah, so I'll show you, first of all, I'm going to show you a crouched pattern. So I'm going to do the same thing. So this is an M4A1 with maximum aiming stability, so there's no sway at all. So the sway doesn't affect my recoil patterns. I always make sure I do that. So I'll do a recoil pattern here with no bipod, no underbarrel foregrip. It's just aiming stability. This is just a blank aiming stability M4. Alright, so we've got our recoil pattern. Now I'm going to do one with an operator foregrip. So you guys can see, how a foregrip looks in comparison to stock and in comparison to the bipod. So I'll run back to the same spot, get the same distance, crouch, strafe, ADS, and fire. So there's the recoil reduction of the operator foregrip. Now let's swap over to the bipod. Come back to the same spot again, repeat the test, and you should see that the bipod is approximately the same as a foregrip while you're crouched. I tested this, like I said, on about 10 different guns, and it was always the same. So when you're crouched with a bipod, it's approximately that 17% reduction that's on my website for all the foregrips. Being crouched is approximately that value with a bipod attached, and that's actually really good. I mean, to have an attachment that matches a foregrip but has no negatives. I mean, obviously you have to be crouched, but that's there's lots of situations in Warzone where you can crouch without penalty. So I think that's a decent attachment just for the crouch part of it. So let's jump over to the prone part of it. So I'm going to do this on the same prone spot that I was talking about. Right over here on this truck. So I go prone up on top of this box, just so I'm shooting horizontally, because I think your recoil can change if you're looking up or down. So I try to get a spot where I'm looking horizontal. So I line up the bottom of my screen with that board while I'm staring at this line on the truck. And then I will fire my prone recoil pattern. Alright, now I will swap over to underbarrel foregrip again. Yes, I'm very good at blowing myself up with C4. That's one of my best talents after all the testing I've done in this game. Alright, so this is going to be the operator foregrip. Same distance from the target, starting at the same spot. And that looks about exactly the same as it did over with the crouching. So now let's switch over to the bipod. And compare the bipod prone. See if it has a different value than it did when we were just crouched. So we're going to get back to the same spot. Same distance from the target. ADS. I'll move a little bit further left. Alright, right there. And fire the full magazine. So there you go. So it's actually pretty significant how much more it helps when you're prone than when you're crouched. It's so I crunched the numbers across all the 10 weapons I tested, and it was about across the board. Like I said, when you're crouched, it matched the underbarrel foregrips, like the Merc foregrip, Ranger foregrip, Operator foregrip. So it's about 17% when you're crouched in vertical recoil reduction, and then when you're prone, it's approximately double that in magnitude on average across all my tests. So it was about 35% recoil reduction when you're prone. So I actually think I tried messing around with this in Warzone and tried to find some viable builds, and I'll probably show some gameplay here at the end of the video, but I think it's potentially viable because it doesn't have any negatives. So if there's a weapon that you need recoil control on, but you don't want to have the movement speed penalty, or you don't want to have the ADS penalty, it might be worth just thinking about it if a bipod would work for you. So obviously you need specific situations where you can use a bipod. It's really hard to go prone in Warzone because there's a lot of snipers, and if you go prone, you're not moving, a sniper just boom, insta headshot on you. So it's hard to use it prone, but you can use it crouched pretty frequently. There's a lot of times when you're crouched behind cover and strafing back and forth behind cover, and I don't know. I think it's an interesting attachment. I think it's worth giving a shot. Pretty significant recoil reduction and no negatives, so I think it's worth trying out. Alright guys, I hope you learned something. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe, check out my Twitch, comment, like, dislike. Helps me with the algorithm. You guys have already been doing that though, so I don't really need to say that. But anyway, thanks for all the support, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.